Dell Server Migration Utility, or SMU, is a tool that enables the migration of Windows boot images in a multi-vendor x86 server environment to network storage, and prepares this migrated image for booting from centralized storage. In this video, we're going to do a sample migration of a Windows boot image from a physical server to a Dell EqualLogic storage array. First, we go into the menu for Server Migration Utility, and we select Go to Advanced Operations. From this menu, we're going to create and mount an iSCSI LUN. First, we're going to choose Provision iSCSI LUN. This is a feature that works with Dell EqualLogic storage to enable Server Migration Utility to create a volume on the fly when doing a migration. We need to input the IP address of the EqualLogic storage array, the username and password for the administrator, a name for the volume that we will be creating, the size of the volume that we will be creating, in this case 30 gigs, and then we're going to create the iSCSI initiator for this volume on the EqualLogic and add that to the array that we are creating. And then we will select the iSCSI target for this same volume on the array and click Next. SMU will then communicate with the EqualLogic array and provision this iSCSI volume. We click OK. It takes us back to the advanced menu, and we're now going to mount this iSCSI volume that we have just created. So we select the mount volume. We paste in the iSCSI initiator that we want to use for this device and the IP address of the EqualLogic, and we click Next. Then Server Migration Utility is going to communicate with the EqualLogic array. It's going to show a list of target portals that we have access to. We're going to select the test volume that we just created. Next, we'll go back to the main menu, and we're going to copy a Windows boot image. So we choose the first selection from this menu, Copy Windows Boot Image. When we go to this menu, it's going to give us the options required for the image to be copied from local disk, in this case the D drive, to the remote disk that we choose. And I'm going to scroll down and select the iSCSI volume that we've just mounted, that's 30 gigs. I click Next. And now we get the chance to choose drivers to inject into this image. Server Migration Utility can inject drivers that are necessary for this image if we're going to move it to, for instance, a VMware virtual machine or a Hyper-V virtual machine. I'm going to select both of those checkboxes because I want this image to be prepared to run on physical servers or ESX and Hyper-V virtual machines. Next, we get a confirmation window showing our selections, and then a warning that we're about to format the iSCSI volume that we have created. I'm going to click OK, and then the migration is going to begin. The time this migration takes is going to vary depending on the size of the image that we're migrating, the amount of bandwidth between the server and the storage array, and the speed of the storage array disks. It's a very fast migration, but it is going to vary depending on those things. In this video, I've sped up the process, but we see that it took about 4 minutes and a little bit over for this migration to happen. And then it's going to tell me that the migration is complete. So now we have copied the image from local storage, the local hard drive of the server, to the iSCSI array. But in the advanced menu, now I have one more thing I'm going to do since this is an iSCSI array. I'm going to prepare the image for iSCSI booting. This is going to configure Windows so that it understands that it's going to be booting from a iSCSI SAN. And I'm also going to do the preparation to prepare it to boot from the iSCSI SAN on the physical server, a VMware virtual machine, or a Hyper-V virtual machine. So I select the Windows boot image that I've migrated, and I'm going to select the first two network adapters in this case because those are my two boot adapters. You want to choose the ones that you're going to be booting from. And I click Next, and Server Migration Utility prepares that image now that it's prepared to iSCSI boot on a physical server, a VMware virtual machine, a Hyper-V virtual machine, all on iSCSI. And now I'm ready to quit from the SMU utility, and the image is ready to go. So I'll click Shutdown, and the server will power down. For more information about SMU, go to delltechcenter.com and search for SMU. Thank you.